We'd all agree that life has its ups and downs, and each of us have our own stories to tell. But during the tough times, when we feel a little bit stuck, how do we move forward? How do we find there while staying here? Now, that's the central question of a new book called Let's Go Home. It's written by local author and kinesiologist Bernadette O'Connor. She joins me in the studio. Bernadette, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Guy.
What have you made of what you've learnt so far about publishing a book and this particular book?
Oh, good question. What I have learned about publishing a book, getting a book out there, is the writing's the easy part. From my perspective, the publishing is a long process. There's many tiny little aspects to it. And because it was the first time, it's my debut novel, I didn't know. So it's been a massive learning curve for me. But also because you're relying on different people to do their bits, I've had to really take my hands off and just, it happens when it's supposed to happen.
They often say the easiest and best way to write is to write your story. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there must be comparisons to your story in this.
Interestingly, no.
No?
No. So a lot of people have asked me that. So my central character, Halia, she is not me. So
in no way, shape or form?
I think she's a bit of everybody.
Okay.
So in that, she has experiences in her life that leaves her feeling lost and alone and empty and confused and frustrated and looking for more. So I think any of us have been there.
Yeah, yeah.
So the beginning of the book starts with a one-night stand, starts with sniffing cocaine, starts
No
with...
wonder you want to remove yourself from that storyline.
Suicide attempts and things like that. And I'm like, It's not an autobiography, people. But the character of Halia kind of came to me and came through me. So I would literally get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, put my headphones in, listen to some music and just type the words as they came out. So I was sort of like just telling her story.
What do you want people to learn from reading this book? Is it going to be different for everyone, but is there a general, universal sort of message that you're trying to get across?
What I'm seeing from the feedback I'm getting from readers already is it's very different for different people. Some people it's touching the surface and going, oh, that was a good book, it's an interesting read. Other people it's like, wow, that really brought out some of my old stuff. I'm crying, I can really relate to her. And I've had a couple of people go, I can only read a couple of pages and it's stirring up so much in me that I've got to put it aside. But for the general audience, the general reader, really my intention is that, like I was saying before, we've all been in places where we've been stuck, where we're possibly in a little bit of darkness, having a tough time, but there's a way out. And that's, as a kinesiologist, that's what I do with people. I help them move from their stuckness back into life and find who they really are and find their truth. And so I really want anybody to pick up this book and be inspired in a way that maybe they're having a really tough time. Oh, I get emotional when I feel it. Mm-hmm. But if Halia can do it, you can do it. And one of my taglines, I say it's going to be on my headstone, is you've got to do your work. We've in this life and we have to do our work, but it doesn't have to be hard, but we're here to grow and learn. And so my hope is that plants the seed, the book plants the seed in people that we can all change, but we've got to do a little bit of work.
How did you know when it was time to stop writing? Obviously you go through the editing process, all that sort of thing. How did you know that, okay, it's time to let it go?
I'm not a strategic or a very professional writer. I'm an intuitive, kind of write from a place of consciousness. So I just wrote. Yeah. There was no structure. There was no strategy. It was literally I would get up and I'd go, start typing to Halia, where are we going today? And then she would just start. So,
wow.
And then at the end, I knew the ending from the first day.
Yep.
And I remember the day I finally got to write that and it was beautiful. And I was like, ah. So when did I know it was time to be done? When it was just done.
Yeah.
At some point you've got to hand it over. I've actually worked with some clients who are writers and they would say, I've been working on this project for 5 years. And I'm like, oh, because they're still in the writing and that. But it's just different writers work in different ways. Yeah. I'm a bit of a, when it comes and lands, let's make it happen.
Is there another book on its way?
So I was fortunate to go to Bali by myself for 4 days last year. My hubby and the kids came after 4 days. That's, with 3 small kids. That was a gift. But whilst I was there, I got about half of another book written, which is it's a very good book. But interestingly, it's a great story about a mother-child relationship and again, fiction. I have not touched it though, since it was like I had to be in that space. So I think there might be another Bali trip on the cards.
Oh, surely.
But I do have another book that kind of landed, which is the one that needs to be written next. It's a bit rawer, it's a bit more exposing. So it's more of a challenge for me to step into that space. But I can feel it's a very good story to be put out there, and it's going to challenge people and their beliefs around a lot of things. So
Wow.
I can't wait, actually. I'm really looking forward to carving out some time to then go and land in that space in the next couple of weeks.
That's exciting. But before all that, let's go home is the focus. Good luck with it.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for talking to us about it, Bernadette.
Thank you so much for having me.